Does your business have way too many processes that no one's written down and that rely entirely on memory? Do you know you need to write them down, but just don't have the time? If so, then these tools that I'm going to show you in this video might help. They automate writing of your SOPs, onboarding processes, and really any documentation by simply recording the actions you take on your computer. Let's take a look. First, we have Tango. It's free to use, and to get set up, you just need to create an account and install their Chrome extension. Once you've done that, we can start to record. You can just click their Chrome extension here and start capturing. So let's give that a try. What we can do is we'll create a quick documentation on how to download some orders using an app called Data Export. We're just going to use this template here. And you can see as I click around that the workflow is being built. I'm going to just change the time range here, export this file. We've got a file created, and let's end that there. So now that we have the workflow completed, we can take a quick look at it. And as you can see, it's got some steps created and screenshots captured based on where we've clicked. You can edit the text, right? So we can say Shopify admin, for example. And we can go into the images and we can also edit the images. So let's say we want to add an arrow or add some text. It's very, very easy to do. So you can save that and there we go. There's also a really cool feature where you can blur. So if you want to hide some more sensitive information, then you can also easily do that. Note that the blur option is only available on the Pro plan for Tango. And it's as simple as that. Now we can go ahead, save the workflow, and you're done. And we're ready to share. So what we can do is we can see what the share link looks like. Let's go into an incognito window so we're not logged in. And this is what it's going to look like. So you can actually click along, take a look at the different steps. We can take a look at the PDF version. That's what that looks like. And we can also copy some of the HTML or Markdown versions and bring that into a different program like Notion. We use Notion a lot. We use it to run our entire business. So let's copy the Markdown version, and that's what that would look like. So a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to share it. You can organize it and create your own library of workflows, whether it's in Tango itself or offline. If you're like us, some of the workflows that you want to create will actually include apps that are not browser-based. With the extension, you're limited to the browser. So if you upgrade to the Pro version of Tango, they actually have a desktop app, which allows you to record workflows offline. So let's do a quick little workflow for that. So it's got a similar option to start recording, and we can, again, go to a new tab. We can go back into Shopify and just repeat the exact same steps, except this time we'll take it a little bit further. And so now we can open Microsoft Excel and we can continue recording our workflow steps as we work through it. So let's say we want to create a pivot table. We can do that and select the fields that we're looking for. Let's say we want to see how many of each product we've sold. And there we go. We can end our workflow there. So similar to before, we get a workflow, except this time we have steps that also include the steps that we took in Excel, creating that pivot table. And similar to before, you can do all the edits that we needed. So you can just save that and share it with whoever you want to share it with. So let's take a look at the pricing. They've got 3 tiers: Starter, Pro, and Enterprise. Their free version is quite powerful, quite feature rich. Out of everything that we looked at today, the free version can cover all of that except for being able to add the blur into the images during image editing and creating offline workflows. For those, you need to upgrade to Pro, but otherwise, you can get started for free. So if you need to create some documentation, Tango is an excellent option for that. Next, we have Dubble. Dubble is also free to use. Note that they're in beta, so they should be rolling out additional features as time goes on. But the core functionality is very similar to Tango. So to get started, you can add their Chrome extension. This is the screen that you get once you've logged in. Whereas with Tango, they called their documentation workflows. Here, Dubble calls them guides. And to start a new guide, you can click onto the Chrome extension and start recording. Since we've already gone through these steps a couple times before, I'm just going to speed through this part. So once you've finished recording, you'll get the list of steps and the screenshots. You're able to edit the steps. So in this case, we actually would want to remove this step. Here we can say navigate to Shopify and click on apps, for example. And let's say we want to edit the image. We can add arrows and text like before. And we can also add blurring effects. So we can remove certain information if we don't want that to be seen. So the behavior here is very similar to Tango, just looks a little bit different. One thing you'll see that is different from Tango is that they have this video here. This video is a screen recording of all the steps that we just took when we recorded the guide. It's almost like a Loom video. It adds an extra layer of instruction. This feature is only available on the Pro plan, but if you're on the free version, then it would just be the steps and the screenshots. If you have any needs to create guides with offline apps, unfortunately, Dubble doesn't have that available. I did reach out to their customer support, and it seems like that's something that may come in the future. But at this time, and as they're still in beta, that's just not available. So let's say we want to share this guide now. We can look at the sharing options. You can share with a link. So we can take a look at what that would look like if we were to go into incognito mode. It's got a table of contents on the left side, and overall looks pretty good. We're able to take a look at the PDF version. So let's save that. So this is what the PDF file looks like. And we can take a look at how the magic copy or markdown version looks in Notion. In both cases, these will look the same. So I'm just going to copy that over to Notion, and that's what that looks like. Let's take a look at their pricing. So Dubble has 3 tiers, Free, Pro, and Enterprise. Their Pro version is $12 a month or $3 annually compared to $20 with Tango. But they don't have the offline apps recording, but they do have video and audio recordings that you can be added. So that's one major differentiation between them. Also, their blurring effect is available on their free plan with Tango that you'd have to upgrade to Pro to get that. But otherwise, most of the other features seem very similar, at least from how we tested it. So similar to Tango, this is an excellent option if you're looking to create some documentation, especially on their free plan. And if you don't need offline apps, Dubble is a great place to start. And finally, we have Scribe. It's also free to use. And just like Tango and Dubble, you install their Chrome extension to start to record. Once you've logged in, this will be your homepage. For Scribe, they call their recordings scribes. So Tango uses the word workflow, Dubble uses guides. For Scribe, it's Scribe. There's a couple of different sections here, so you can see their recent files, stats, and some tutorials. So let's record a Scribe. Similar to Dubble and Tango, you go to their Chrome extension and start capture. We'll just speed up through these steps because you've seen them before. So we've now finished capturing the Scribe, and we can take a look at it. It's got steps on where to navigate, where to click. Overall, the steps look very similar to what you'd see in Tango or Dubble. If we wanted to edit the URL, we can change it to something else. So it could be your store name.myshopify.com. Or if we wanted to edit some images, then you have several options available, including creating arrows and text. We also have the same option to redact or blur, and we can finish here. So the behavior is very similar to Tango and Dubble. Note that the editing options, all these annotations are only available in the Pro plan. So unlike Tango and Dubble, where those are available on the free plan, here with Scribe, you have to upgrade before you're able to do any image editing. Now let's say you want to do recording for offline apps. This is available with Scribe, and you can do that once you've downloaded their desktop app. So this is their desktop app. It's identical to their website, but just in the form of a desktop app. So let's start with a new recording, this time incorporating the steps in Excel like we did with Tango. Again, I'm just going to speed through these steps because you've seen them before. Once we're done recording, we will now get our Scribe. And it looks pretty good. Overall, the screenshots are really useful. I think when doing the desktop app, it does require the descriptions to be edited a little bit better because it's typically just saying click here, etc. So it's not as descriptive as it was with the browser extension, but it still captures the screenshots really quickly. And so that's extremely useful, particularly if you want to create procedures with your offline app. We can now take a quick look at sharing. So let's see what options there are available. You can send it by email. You could do a smart embed into these different programs, or you can export. So the sharing options are pretty much the same as they are from Tango and Dubble. We can take a look at what a link would look like. So this is what the shared link looks like. And it looks pretty much the same as it does inside Scribe. So this is a really great way to share your documentation. There isn't a table of contents like in Dubble or Tango. And let's take a look at their PDF. This is their PDF file. Looks pretty nice. And we can try their markdown version so that we can see what it looks like in Notion. And I'll just paste it into Notion. Nice. Looks very similar to Dubble and Tango. Overall, the sharing options available are similar to Tango and Dubble, but the one difference is that on the free version, you only get link and PDF sharing. Now let's take a look at their pricing. So similar as the other two, they've got a free version, a pro version, and enterprise. Their free version isn't as full featured as Tango or Dubble, so you can't edit the images. So that includes the blurring, but also includes adding any annotations like the text or adding the arrows. You're not able to use the offline recording. So on the free plan, Scribe isn't quite as feature rich as the other two options. With Pro, I would say that their features are going to be on par with Tango, except it's just a little bit more expensive at $29 a month instead of $20, but overall has all the features that Tango would have. So they're very much similar if you've upgraded. Overall, Scribe is a great option if you want to record automatic documentation, and you really can't go wrong with any of the three that we've looked at today, Tango, Dubble, or Scribe. Overall, when comparing the three options, you can't really go wrong with any of them. All three are easy to use and generally have very similar features. If all you need is browser recording, then Tango, Dubble, and Scribe can all handle that. If you need desktop recording, then that's going to need to be Tango or Scribe. All three have pretty descriptive steps when recording with the browser, but once you do desktop recording, then that's when you're going to need to step in and need to edit some of those steps a little bit more. Dubble is the only one with video recording, like as if it was a Loom video. So if that's something that you really like, then you'd have to go with Dubble. All three have image editing, but with Scribe, you have to upgrade to Pro in order to get that. Similar with sharing, with Scribe, you have to upgrade to get some of those sharing options. And all three have free versions available. So if you want to just get started, all three, you can use them immediately. If upgrading, Dubble has the cheapest monthly cost, but for our purposes, the reason why we would upgrade is because we wanted the offline recording option, which Dubble doesn't have. So if I'm going to be upgrading, I'd probably only go to Tango and Scribe. And so overall, I'd, if I were to rank the three of them, I'd go Tango first because it has all the options available, except for video recording, which in my opinion isn't something that's necessary. So you can do the offline recording. It has the cheapest price in order to get that offline recording, and has all other features once you've upgraded. Dubble, I'm putting second because if all you need is browser recording, then I'd stick with Dubble because on their free version, you have everything you need with that. Plus, you get the blurring effect that you'd only get if you were to upgrade with Tango and Scribe. And with Scribe, I'd put it third because all the features available there are already available in Tango, and you need to upgrade in order to get some of those features that would otherwise be free with Tango and Dubble, and it just costs a little bit more. Overall, no matter which one you end up choosing, you'll still be able to create documentation much faster than you otherwise would if you were to try to do that manually like we used to. And there you have it. While these tools aren't perfect, they can definitely save you a ton of time by getting the guts of your documentation ready for final edits. And best of all, they're free. If you're interested in learning more, Andrew and I have a longer discussion on this, which you can find around here. Thanks for watching this video, and let me know in the comments below if this was helpful.